welcome to another video. I'd like to go over some of the features of the Surveyor 19MDBLE that sort of tipped us into this versus some of the others that we were looking at, similar size, layout, price range, and why we decided to go with this model versus some of the other ones. We looked at the FSX from Wildwood, Salem. There was a Coachman Catalina, and also an Aurora that was very similar, single axle, double over double bunk. But in the end, we went with this. I think for a couple reasons. The price increase for this model versus some of the others, but the features I felt, and I think we all felt, outweighed the price difference. One of them was just overall construction. We had walked around the Forest River, the Aurora 18 BH maybe, the same, I think the Coachman Catalina is a 184 model, the single axle double over double with the Murphy bed, and just looking around those construction wise, just little things that we saw on the inside, it seemed like it was built better. The Wildwood Salem 178, also just material wise, this model felt like it was a little superior. Not a lot. I mean, you know, it's probably a $4,000 to $5,000 price jump depending on, you know, where you're at. But there were definitely some features that we liked in this one versus some of the others. So I'll go over some of those now, and I think I touched on a lot of them during the big walkthrough, but I'm going to highlight those specifically now. So one of the things that we liked, for me, the Murphy bed was more comfortable. Also, just having a little side shelf with a cup holder, just again, better built, better materials, more comfortable. It didn't feel like it was just a slab of foam with some fabric on it. It felt like something I could sit on. The whole purpose of us getting a Murphy bed was so that we had more seating during the day and we weren't stuck to the dinette. So if we were going to do that, I wanted it to be something that was actually usable. And for this one, that was a check mark. Another big plus for this was the full queen bed, 60 by 80 instead of the 60 by 74 Camp Queen. So that was another big plus. You know, it's small, but having the light here, the FSX series doesn't have a light in that area, so that was a, you know, kind of a plus. It's nice if we're going to use that seating for eating and dining and playing games and that sort of thing. It's nice to have the light there. The bathroom, again, simple little things. It's a doorknob with a lock. Like, look around when you're doing your walkthroughs, realize that's not normal. You know, most are just a knob and you can't lock. And so I've got, you know, a 13-year-old daughter, and it's going to be used by my family as well as my in-laws. And so having a lock there is a nice touch. Porcelain toilet, and this is one that you know, Surveyor lists in their kind of their big selling point, is having a upgraded porcelain toilet. You know, it's a decent height. You don't feel like you're sitting on the floor. It's easier to clean. It's nicer, and so in something this small, those little things add up. Also, instead of just having a crappy curtain, you know, it's got this nice sliding door, heavy duty, probably vinyl, little unlatch. It sort of squeezes itself off. So yeah, I mean, instead of, they could easily put a bar there with a crappy curtain, but they didn't. They put something a little bit nicer. So it's, you know, a bunch of little additions that kind of made this our choice. We definitely wanted windows, top and bottom. We wanted USBs, top and bottom. So this checked the boxes there for sure. Having separate little privacy curtains, top and bottom, was also a nice touch. The combination of a 15,000 Coleman AC and a centralized thermostat for heat and air was also a nice touch and an upgrade that we felt was worth it. To not have, you know, the super loud knobs and high-low and all. I mean, to be able to set a temperature and kind of let it go and not worry about high-low and you know, it's automatic. It's something you don't have to think about. It makes it a little bit more like home. Convection microwave oven, nice touch. I will say that one of the things, so some of the cons versus, say, the FSX is, you know, they have a nice big U dinette versus the double bench. The double bench still sits 4 people easily, especially when 2 of them are kids, but it's, you know, it is a little bit smaller. It's a little bit less space over there. Also, I do like the FSX model where they've got the inline burners, which makes room for a much bigger sink. So, you know, kind of a con of this is, you know, smaller sink, wide range top. 3 big drawers, also big plus for me. It's a kitchen. I feel like kitchens should have drawers, so having the 3 big drawers there is a plus, as well as the countertop extension. You know, it's simple, but it adds space to where you don't have space. So it's kind of a nice little touch. Pre-wired, or the solar already on board, nice touch. It's only 80 watt, but it's expandable, and that's pretty easy to do. So I think that's something we'll take advantage of. The larger 12 volt fridge, definitely a pro for us size wise. You know, brand wise, I don't, you know, I'm not savvy to, you know, Norcold versus Furrion versus whoever. But you know, again, the FSX, which is kind of what I keep referencing, also has a, you know, pretty big 12 volt fridge as well. So to be able to get everything in this model as well as maintaining the fridge was a nice touch. So inside wise, you know, again, some of the negatives, I guess, if I would, interior storage, pantry, what have you, you've got, you know, 2 up front, or 2 up top rather. We've got 3 drawers that we can use. One is obviously silverware. This is sort of a short little drawer, so that's clearly going to be silverware, but there's no significant storage over here. We've got the under bench that's a little bit difficult to get to, so that's really more long-term storage. And then we've got some room under there, but as far as immediate, you know, what I would call pantry storage, not a lot. So that's kind of a negative. Again, I think the sink, the size of the sink would probably be a negative. I do wish the Murphy bed had a more significant latch than this guy. I don't know if that's going to wear out traveling down the road, you know, beating back and forth. TV location, slight negative. You know, we're not in this thing to be watching TV, but if we have to, it is a little bit of a negative. So let's go to the outside. Some of the big pluses on this guy. Obviously the steps that you just came down. So the secure steps, big positive. Power tongue jack, big positive. I don't know. Kind of take a peek in here. So this, I guess, would be a negative. I know on the 178, which is sort of the comparable model in the FSX, it's also only a one-way pass-through, but it is a little bit bigger. But one of the positives is, as you can see there, the all-aluminum structure. Definitely a plus. Azdel on the side. Azdel plus for sure. Pass through 15 by 15 is a negative. It's deep. I mean, I've got quite a bit of stuff in there, and it, once you get in, it drops down, and we're going to be all right with it. But if it were bigger, it'd be a plus. Battery cutoff already installed, plus. Magnet latches, plus. I know most people are using them, but there's still, in this single axle sub 4,000 market, there's still some people using magnetic clips. Black wheels instead of crappy steel wheels, plus. Ladder, walkable roof, also plus. Pre-wired for backup camera, plus. Outside, I don't really know that there's a whole lot of negatives. I mean, that somebody else might have. The outdoor kitchen, I guess, could be a negative. The outdoor kitchen, instead of being something that pulls out and is fixed with a refrigerator, which would be nice and convenient, it all sets up on this lip here. I do think an outdoor refrigerator would be a plus. It'd be easier, for the kids are riding bikes or out running around, just to come back, grab a drink, and not have to come inside. But whatever. It's 3 stairs. It's not that big of a deal. Plus, the fridge inside is pretty big. Definitely like the enclosed underbelly. It's supposed to have some forced hot air coming off of it, or coming into it. We did not opt for the heated pads, but it does have a little heat going to it. We're in South Carolina. It's not that big of a deal. The slam latch lockable front door or compartment is nice. Front windshield looks nice when you're inside, but if there's trouble with it, then it quickly becomes a negative for sure. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. Just right up top there is the small 80-watt solar panel. Another, I guess, negative of this model, something to look out for if it matters to you, would be the lack of windows on your campsite. So if we look here, we've got a small one there at the kitchen, nothing in the door, and then nothing up front. So that's, if this is your campsite, that's not a lot of viewing area. To me, that's a negative. It may not be for you, but it is definitely something to consider when you're looking at models in this price range, in this size, in this floor plan. All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Make sure, if you get a chance, drop down below, give us a like, leave us some comments. What do you think? What would you change? What are you looking for in something like this? Again, it's a 4,044 pound trailer, maxes out at 48 and change, so your UVW is going to be sub 5,000. Can be towed by a lot of different vehicles. Single axle. So compare it to what you're looking for. Let me know what your model is, what you're looking for in a trailer this size. All right, thanks again.